Shut up and sit down.
Love that tune. Gets me bouncing in the morning. Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, the start of a new week. I hope it starts well for you. It's starting good for me. Excuse me, had a little cough there, a little tickle in my throat, a little frog in my throat. AJ Tom, good morning to you. Good morning, Stat Zero and North Free. Hello. It was a fantabulous weekend. Past Master Dan, come on YouTube for F's sake. What's going on with that, Past Master Dan? Talk to me. Actually, you know what? That reminds me. I got to pull up my YouTube on my phone so I can make sure the. I like to pull up the channel on my phone so I can see what we're looking at, see what you guys are seeing. See, look at that. It's a show and a show and a show. I do that so I can make sure the video quality looks good. And so far it does. So there you go. I hope everybody had a fine, fantabulous weekend. Like I said, I did. I want to share my screen, of course, to start the show off with 1stMAN Volume 2 Learning Curve. Picked up a couple more backers. It is cruising along. And it's, was it third day? I guess it is. If you haven't backed it yet, please do. Let's watch the video real quick, guys. I'm going to be pimping this, promoting this daily. So that's the ticket there. Let's check out the video, shall we? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Yes, we can. Past Master Dan, you're fine now. Oh, thanks. I tried to put on my pretty face for you guys this morning. Oh, wait a second. Is that not what you're talking about? Oops. Anyhow, 1stMAN Volume 2. It is funding now. Let's get this baby going. I've got the first stretch goal unlocked for the trading card. I will show that to you guys later this week as I'm working on putting it together now. North Free says, I heard about the mini comic you're going to make if you get more than 30,000. No, it has to, well, 30,000, there's already a stretch goal for 30,000. So it's going to have to be, I'm going to create another stretch goal after that. But yes, that is what I'd like to do. If it gets high enough, I would love to do a small 8-page mini comic featuring Penumbra, a standalone little Penumbra story that would be in the style of the ad that I do. So here it is. Look at this. I love the fact that somebody wants to be drawn in the book and already bought that that pledge level. That's awesome. So somebody is going to be drawn in a book. This was from Ultra. This person here did the level to be drawn into Ultra. So that's what it will be. Get yourself in the book. Get yourself a word balloon. So here we go. Look at him flying up to the Fourth World Foundation to see what's going on over there. See what these jabronis want with him. So there you have it, guys. 1stMAN, Volume 2, Learning Curve. Back it now. Tell your friends. It's the only way. Like I said, I know all you guys have backed it, but you got to spread the word about how cool this comic is so we can build it up more and more. All right, let's get to why we're here today. We're here to discuss the early work of Mr. Brian Bolland. Brian Bolland is somebody whose work I first actually discovered on Green Lantern. This is one of the first covers I ever saw of Mr. Bolland's. Wait, AJ Tom says, a mini comic where Penumbra does ads for Victoria's Not So Secret. Could be. So anyhow, this is one of the first times I saw Mr. Bolland's work. I was but a youth back then. Let's see, is there a date on this comic? No, but I know it was in the 80s. I love Green Lantern, as I've said over and over. Joe Staton is the interior artist on this issue. And this is Mr. Bolland's early work. He is 70 years old this year. So he was in his 30s when he did this. And that's when I discovered him. And then, of course, I remember this cover. That's not a great image. Let's see if I can find another one. Oh, there it is. I remember this cover that he did. I remember this pinup that he did. You know, just great stuff by Mr. Bolland. Like I said, he was inking with a brush. At least that's what he was saying. Oh, here's one that shows, it's small, but kind of shows the original artwork to that one. Oh, here's another great cover I remember of his. I mean, this just brings me back to my childhood. Here's a con sketch, it looks like, from Brian back in the day. That's pretty cool. I've never seen many con sketches of his, so that's pretty cool. But what I want to show you guys is some of his, oh, here's another con sketch. So this is cool, just doing a Google search, 1979. He wasn't even 30 yet. That is so cool. Something more recent of Kyle Rayner. Probably done all digital, because like I said, he's definitely switched over to Mr. Digital. Oh, look at that gorgeous piece of work. I read in an interview where Brian likes to do lighting from the upper left coming down. So if you look at a lot of Brian's work, the lighting will be coming from the left with the shadow side being on the right. Stats, you can always tell Bolland in the rendering. Oh yeah, totally. He has a very distinctive rendering style. He is a modern great. Who doesn't love Killing Joke? I got the black and white oversized version of Killing Joke. Oh, just looking at the line work, I'm looking over at my desk to see if I have that within hand's reach. It doesn't look like it, but I do have the black and white oversized version of the Killing Joke, and it's gorgeous. One of the few artists that hasn't lost a step as he gets older. That's true. Here's another great cover. Just some great stuff. You know, he definitely has that Silver Age type look to his stuff, but it's still very, very contemporary and works for today. This was the original page I found when I did the search. There was one issue. Oh, I didn't know he was in an issue of Illustrators. Now I got to track that down. I didn't know he was in it. That. Got to find that. DC put out, or was it DC? No, it might have been, I can't remember who put this book out. All right, I'll just be honest. I don't remember who put this out. Could be IDW. Look at this. If this is true, this book is only $19.99 if it is in stock at Bud Plant. This is one hell of a book if you're a Brian Bolland fan. Let's see. There was one shot of something I saw that I want to show. This. I've never seen this before. Let's just click on it and see where it takes us. Let's see if this makes it bigger. Kinda. I'll just do this. I mean, look at that. I've never seen this. This is from 1983. So 38 years ago, when Brian was, oh man, why am I doing math? Not even 40 minus 30 minus, he was 32 or something when he did this, 33 when he did that. Oh man, this is just awesome shot of Superman here. Come on, guys. We all know we would love to have seen a great Superman story, interior art drawn by Bolland. But look at that. Lighting coming down from the left. Coming down from the left. That's what he does. Above and left. Dude, that Spectre. Yep. That is awesome. Judge Dredd, of course, his Judge Dredd work is phenomenal. But what I want to show today, oops, actually, you know what? I kind of like that screen up. Let me do that. I like it up, and you'll know why, because it's not projecting too much light for when I show, and I'll full screen myself to show you the comics. I'm going to show these reprints real quick of Brian Bolland's. Is these. Can you hear that noise? That's the garage. My wife is leaving for work. Power Comics. Now, this cover is drawn by Dave Gibbons. This is some early work by Dave Gibbons and Brian Bolland. Nice Dark Side. That's actually not Dark Side. That is Mongol in the background of that Superman cover, actually. So Power Comics. These are reprints. 1, 2, this is a Bolland cover. Dave and Brian went back and forth on these covers. These covers were done new for these reprints. So the interior art, definitely older. 3 and 4. AJ Tom saying, bye, Helen. Look at that. You remembered my wife's name. I'll tell her. So these are reprints. So let's just dive in, shall we? Hopefully we'll get through all 4 issues. I can't promise that. All right, I'm going to switch my camera so you won't see my pretty face anymore. Oh, my pretty face is gone. Power Comics. So this is Dave Gibbons on the cover. Dave Gibbons also, as you can tell, lighting from upper left-hand corner, but he varies it. There goes the garage door closing, if you guys can hear that. I love the way Dave Gibbons does his rendering on his figure work. Bounces a little reflected light in there. Oops, bumped the camera. Oops, bumped it again. There we go. So this is early Dave Gibbons work. I can't remember. Let me see. It says over here on the interior page when this stuff was originally printed. This reprint is from March 1988. It was a 4-part miniseries published bi-monthly by Acme Press. Originally, I guess. I'm trying to see when this stuff, if there's a date. I don't see it, so I'm not sure when this was originally done. But this first story is by Mr. Dave Gibbons. Like I said, first work. Not his very first work, but some of his first. You can see the evolution of Dave's artwork. What I really love about this, I believe this stuff was printed in black and white when it originally came out. So you can see him really working the tones, gray tones. Yeah, you got to love the leopard print underpants. Those are fantastic. You know, love doing the gray tones here. He's really, you know, doing nice lighting. You can see the early genius, if you will, of Dave Gibbons in this early stuff. I look at this and I think, God, I wish my early stuff was this good. Mark McHugh in the house. Hello. Thank you for joining. I hope you subscribe to my channel. Got to build up those subscriptions after all. This cross hatching is so nice here. It is Very nice. This is mostly brushwork, I believe. I read these back when I first got them, so don't even ask me to recall the story, because I can't. I'll be straight up. I can't. I did not reread these over the weekend. A little too busy to reread this stuff. And I probably never will reread it because I bought it just for the art. Still got the 9-panel grid for the most part. Yeah, well, back when these guys started, this stuff was done probably late 70s. I'm going to guess. Grids were still the thing. You know, the comic paper that they used back then, or at least the Marvel paper in DC, had little hatch marks on the side of the paper, so you knew where you could divide the panels up into specific shapes. Truth be told, I prefer Bolland's work in black and white. Oh, yeah. I prefer it in black and white, and I would say flat color, because Bolland does so much rendering. The reason these guys did so much rendering back then, not even a lot. This isn't a lot of rendering, but the reason guys did rendering like this back in the day is because the work was flat color. So they had to provide all the tones from white all the way to black and everything in between. So when you put flat color on it, you saw the gradations and the gray tones. With modern color, you'll notice a lot of books, if you take away the digital color, look like a coloring book. And that's because colors these days can add all that tonal variation in color. But guys like Brian Bolland still draw that stuff, so you don't need that tons of digital color on his work. Now we get to the Brian Bolland part of the story. Here we go. You still see Brian Bolland, some of his rendering and his really nice drawing even back then at this early age. But at the same time, you can definitely see how he's improved and see, I guess you could say, mistakes in his drawing, and it's not as refined, which, you know, for me, when I was a young artist seeing this stuff, I was like, it gives me hope. It gives me hope. If Brian Bolland can go from this to the genius he is, then I can grow myself. Love this face right here. That is so nice. But you can see he's doing his lighting like he still does. It's just, you know, his drawing got so much better and more refined. I love looking at this stuff in black and white. I found these probably a decade ago at a convention. Look at this face right here. Right, hold on, let me see. Oops, right there. It's not going to get clear. All right, and I'm shaking my camera. Stop it. Stop with the camera shaking. Let me see if this helps. Let's see, I'm trying something here. Oops. I got this light I'm going to turn on. I don't know if it's necessary, but we'll find out. Give me 1 second to turn this on. Oh, it's not even plugged in. Never mind. That light will not be utilized right now. Stat Zero says, I have to imagine as meticulous as Bolland is, he's on the slower side, like Art Adams. Oh, definitely. Do you own a Brian Bolland page? Oh, God, I wish I owned a Brian Bolland page. Hi, honey. I bought this beautiful piece of artwork today. Oh, that's nice. How much did that cost? A couple $100? No, I took a second mortgage out on the house. I hope that's okay. What page would I want? I'd want a Green Lantern cover. You never really drew Green Lantern artwork for interior stuff. So as much as I like collecting interior pages, I'd like a Green Lantern cover. Mark McHugh says, don't worry, Andy, I'm a longtime subscriber and backer of 1stMAN. Well, thank you very much, Mark. I appreciate that. So, yeah, I'd like a Green Lantern cover. But, you know, in all honesty, if one of these pages came up for sale and they weren't that expensive, I'd get one of these just because it's early work and I think it's cool. You know, I love what he's doing here. That face right here is really cool. Let's see, trying to get it. You know, I don't understand. This is a high-def camera, and it's I don't know. I don't quite get it. So there's the first issue. Let's move on. North Free says, LOL, second mortgage. That's about it. Stat Zero slamming shade on me. Not like Aaron. I'll just draw 2 figures in the time it takes you to draw 1 Lepresti. That's for damn sure. Dude, cut me some slack. I mean, you have a Dragon Force double paid spread. I do, but you know what? That Dragon Force double paid spread only cost me like $200 when I bought it. Now, I've had it for over 20 years, or about 20 years, but still, it really did only cost me a couple $100 when I bought it. So in the second issue, it starts with the Brian Bolland. Oh no, this says artist Dave GIbbons. I take it back. I thought it started with Brian Bolland. It starts with Dave GIbbons. I love this shot of him just kick back, watching a little TV, big box TV there. Let me see something. I'm very curious about the camera. Settings here. Oh, let's see. Here, I just switched it to high def. I don't know if this is going to make a difference or not, but anyhow, love this shot of him kicking back there. Once again, nice lighting going on, nice gray tones in the wood, and the cross hatching is so nice. He's watching some wrestling or boxing. I love how he indicated the crowd there. Just gorgeous stuff. AJ says, dude, oh, quote, when I bought it. Yep, when I bought it, it was a couple $100. Wasn't that much. So here he goes. He must see something going on shady. He's like, I need to get over there. It's once again, it's all about seeing the evolution of an artist's work. And that's what we're seeing here. Even through these 4 issues, you see these guys grow as artists. I love this torso. It's very Wayne Boring. Wayne Boring, for those that don't know, was a Superman artist in the 50s and 60s, and his figures had a barrel chest like that. So that's very Wayne Boring-esque. I think that's very cool. You can still learn from this, from the compositions he does for each panel, and even the lighting he does. Warning, I love this. You are not Power Man. So this dude's name is Power Man. Uh-oh. Do not mess with electricity. Warning, electricity is dangerous. So I'm glad they put that there, because if I read this, I'd probably be like, you know what? I'm just going to pull some electrical cords out of a lamp and shock this dude. So kind of glad that, look, comics can teach. See right there. You are not Power Man. Do not mess with electricity. Warning, electricity is dangerous. Who says comics don't teach teach things to kids? I mean, right there, electricity is dangerous, guys. Come on. AJ says, do you know Bolland was drawing 11x17, or did he draw twice up to get that detail like you did on the retro ad? I have no idea. I'm going to assume at this time it was 11x17, because at this time in comics, everything was pretty much 11x17. However, if you look at these pages, there's a lot more dead space at the top and bottom, which means this looks like it might have been printed in a magazine format. So I'm guessing he probably drew on 11x17 paper. That's my guess. I'm not sure, because I've never seen any of these originals. Oops, bumped the camera again. Sorry about that. All right, let's jump over to Mr. Brian Bolland's portion of the book. Here we go. Doing a little bit of Neil Adams-esque foreshortening there. The return of Dr. Crime. His name is Dr. Crime. His name is Dr. Bolland being digital now, I have to imagine the full sizes he pulls down for detail must be massive. Well, I mean, digital, he can work at 400 to 600 DPI. And right, he works at a ridiculously high resolution, probably, like I said, 400 to 600 DPI. And you can just enlarge that stuff so much on the screen. So this is like classic Bolland face right here. So like I said, in this early work, you can see where their styles were going. You know, I mean, you go back to my early work and you can see, you know, still see traits of obviously my work in that early work that I still do. It's just, gotten better. I mean, that's classic Bolland right there. Gorgeous. Nice gray tones he did here. Plonk, bonk. Ugh. Stat Zero says digital, or he's been for years, because North 3 says Bolland digital now. Why? Yeah, he's been digital for over 20 years. I mean, I think he said his eyesight started going, and with digital, you can obviously zoom in as tight as you want. So I like that guy with the sunglasses and cigar. That cat right there, he's super cool. It's like, look at me, I wear my sunglasses at night. Do, 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 do. See my little yellow post-it notes on the side to remind me of things I must do. Oh, the story ends. Hey, look at me. Val, sorry I'm late. Don't apologize. You're here, and that's what matters, Val. All that matters is you are here. So that's issue 2. Let's move on to 3. I'm going to try pulling the camera back a little bit. Let's see. Bear with me. I just want to see if I can get a little better angle on this stuff without the camera dropping. All right, let's see how this does when I put the 3rd issue. Power Comics number 3 of 4 with a, let's see, this cover is Dave Gibbons. I can tell Dave Gibbons on how he does reflected light on the faces and just lighting overall. I'm looking for a signature. I know it's Gibbons, and I also know it's Gibbons because it says on the inside. This first story is drawn by Brian Bolland. Love this splash page. He's like, oh, getting up from a little nappy nap. But you can really see Bolland's work coming together in this 3rd one compared to issues 1 and 2. Like I said, lighting, upper left coming down to the right. Really just, not much reflected light. Here he does reflected light to bounce, to separate with a little bit of white here of the light bouncing in to separate from the black shadow on the cape. No reflected light on the calf because what for? The shadow's all the way over here, doesn't need it. This beautiful cross hatching here, little reflected light here on the back side to bounce it off from that black of the cape, the shadow. It's really cool stuff. Val says, we're doing nostalgic comics today. Sweet. We are doing a deep dive on early work by Brian Bolland and Dave Gibbons. Like I said, I believe this work was originally printed. Oh, wait, here we go. The Power Man changed to Power Bolt for this edition comics, published in 1975. So this work is from 1975. So early Dave Gibbons, Brian Bolland work from 1975, 36 years ago. So let's just say for easy math, 35 years ago. Brian Bolland is 70 years old this year. So wait, does that make sense? Oh no, 45. What am I doing? My math is all messed up, yo. 45 years ago, 46 years ago. So Bolland was like, what, 24 when he was drawing this stuff? I mean, that is insane. Oh man, those pink tights takes a real man to pull pink off. Hell yeah, John Wayne. And this dude, no problem. So yeah, so this was done in 1975, 46 years ago. 24-year-old Brian Bolland. I don't know how old Dave Gibbons is, but I imagine he's close to 70 as well. So both these guys, early 20s, doing some of their first comic book work before they broke in with the big 2. And then, of course, from here, he went on to Judge Dredd and stuff. Both these guys, obviously, from the UK. I mean, look at this. Classic Brian Bolland right there. that has all the hallmark traits of what Brian Bolland became to be or came to be. Oh yeah, Mark McHugh says every 2 at 3 weekly run Bolland did on Dread was always a big deal. Oh yeah. I wish I could have experienced that stuff when it was coming out, but I didn't even know about that stuff until later in life, unfortunately. Love this. I love how Brian throws cast shadows down. I mean, that's the thing. When you do quote unquote really hard light coming from a specific light source like Brian Bolland does, you've got to really pay attention to cast shadows and things like that. I do my work is more, I guess you could say, the way John Byrne does lighting. John Byrne, George Perez, artists like that just do lighting that is kind of really natural light where there's not really hard cast shadows and such. But Brian, oh my God, this shot right here has kind of a Neil Adams vibe to it. But like I said, you can see he's throwing a power pole at this dude. You can see with the hard, if you're going to do lighting this hard with the shadows, you got to do the cast shadows as well. Even the cast shadows dropping down to the fingers and stuff. I imagine this stuff taking him just a while to do. I mean, I can't imagine him drawing, penciling, inking a page a day. I would say it's more than a day to do a page. Graham Nolan is so manly that if he pulls on pink tights, they turn color out of fear. Dude, I got to remember that to tell Graham that. That is awesome. Yeah, the first I heard of heavy metal was the animated movie, which rocks. Yep. I have to be getting my copy of 1stMAN this week. Can't wait. Nice. Love this close-up right here. This is so cool. Oh, man, I just love it. And now we get to Dave Gibbons, early Dave Gibbons work for this part of the story. I mean, how cool is that? Two of these guys in their early 20s doing this work. I don't know if they knew each other back then or not, but who could have guessed that? And I'm sure these guys didn't. They would have grew into being artists that had such an impact on the comic book art form, especially over here in the States with their work for DC. Brian doing the beautiful covers and Camelot 3000 and The Killing Joke, and Dave Gibbons doing, I first discovered Dave Gibbons on his Green Lantern run in the 80s. Then, of course, moving on to Watchmen. I mean, these guys are just phenomenal talents. And, if you like getting early work from artists, I can't recommend enough trying to track down these 4 issues. Just beautiful stuff. Look at that. It's a big B. It's a big B. I think this is Dave Gibbons, and I know Ethan is a big Brian Bolland fan, but I got to show this to Ethan. Big B right there. Maybe in the next issue, look, big spider and stuff. When spiders attack, I mean, this is like a 50s B movie right there with what they're doing. North Free says, Bolland, Gibbons, and more. The second British invasion. Damn right. Gibbons on Green Lantern. I still have my original issues of that work. And I got a trade paperback as well. Love that Green Lantern stuff. Mark Farmer inked a few of those issues that were gorgeous. Dick Giordano stepped in and inked an issue over Gibbons, which looks really cool. And then Dave inked a lot of the Green Lantern stuff himself, which, of course, is fantastic. I think after this, I'm going to have to do a Google search for Dave Gibbons' Green Lantern just so we can see some of that fantastic work. So that's that. Let's go to the 4th issue. I love this Superman annual, by the way, right here, the official annual, 1983. I need to see if I can find that on eBay because that is just lighting me on fire. It's getting my pants a moving. So here's issue 4, Brian Bolland cover. Maybe on the original cover when it came out, there was something here. I don't know. This is Dave Gibbons starting off. Very cool. I love seeing brushwork like that. So you can really get a sense of what Dave Gibbons turned out to be. The biggest takeaway from both of these guys at this young age is they are just nailing the storytelling. You can tell they're more concerned with story over, I got to draw pretty pictures, you know, and story always comes first. And then if you can work in cool dynamics and stuff like that, it's always a bonus. But story comes first, and these guys are definitely telling the story. You don't need word balloons to be able to follow the story and what's going on. And that, my friends, is the way I was taught from great Joe Kubert, is you want to be able to tell the story and see what's going on from panel to panel, page to page, without word balloons. The word balloons, of course, add what the characters are saying, of course, because it's dialogue and what they're thinking, but you should be able to tell what they're doing without things like, I must grab these snakes and shake them. No, I should be able to see a drawing of the character shaking those snakes. That is just awesome panel right there with the plane. So that is it for Dave Gibbons, part of the early work. Let's get to the last Brian Bolland story. Brian rocking that street scene with a car that's elevated on a bridge higher up. A couple bridges here, one here, then a lower bridge back there. You know, this superhero, he doesn't fly everywhere. He likes to take a car every now and then. Jay Lee, good morning to you. Thank you for joining. Whatever you missed, don't worry. You can go back and rewatch it. Little Zipatone, I guess, on Power Man in this to give him a little bit of gray tone for his costume. Very cool. Love this. This back 3/4 view of a head, the cast shadow coming down and the gray tones and stuff. A part of the reason I don't do a ton of lighting like this on my work is because, honestly, it takes a lot of time. And I've tried it before, and I really like my work being a little more open. So JP Roca says, this is how George Miller thinks about storytelling without sound needed. I mean, that's how you have to do it. Think of silent film. You know, when drawing a comic, think of silent film. Get the story across without the need of the word balloons. You know, the word balloons, of course, add, like I said, what are the people saying? You know, adds dialogue that you can't get across through the visuals, but tell the story with the visual that you draw in each panel, in the panel flow. Lead the person through the page. They were pals. Gibbons got Bolland work. Oh, there you go. Look at that. I might have read that. Hold on. Isn't the colors going to add lighting anyway, Andy? Yeah, I mean, not back then. Back then, these were, once again, I believe these comics I'm showing were printed in black and white. But even still, if you look at comics from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, before computer color, they didn't add much. It was mostly flat color. So it was up to the pencil and ink artist to add the tones. So if you put flat color over this face right here, you know, a flat brown skin tone over this face, all this rendering would work with the color to show a darker brown tone. Nowadays, with computer color, you could leave this wide open like a coloring book, and of course they would go in and do the modeling with the color. But back then it was up to the artist to do that stuff. Look at this figure right here. The power of the figure, kind of like Samson pushing the columns apart. He's tensing up. And again, lighting, upper left coming down. You can tell by the direction of the cast shadow and the rendering that the lighting is coming from the upper left and coming down this way. Bolland trademark. I read in an interview, he says he usually lights things from the upper left side. So even here, upper left coming down, this leg is in shadow, reflected light. Brian Bolland is kind of like a more modern Kurt Swan with the way he draws figures. Let me switch the camera back to me. I'm going to share my screen. Hello, I'm back. Woo! Yay. Let's back to sharing the screen. I want to do a search for, let's actually go to Comic Art Fans. Love this site. And let's be jealous at people that own Brian Bolland artwork, okay? Oops. So let's see what people here on Comic Art Fans own Brian Bolland art, so we can be jealous. The Outsiders. Oh yeah, Brian Bolland did a backup story in The Outsiders from 1985. Look at this page. Pencils and inks, I believe, by Mr. Bolland. Beautiful page here. You've got the Looker, that's her name. I'm with you, Andy. I would absolutely have loved to have seen a Bolland run on Superman. Oh my God, just the pinups he's done, the covers. Part of the reason why I prefer to buy older artwork. The artists didn't rely on colors as much. It's true. Look at this. I think I have this issue of The Outsiders. It's from number 18. So now I have to look. I'm pretty sure I have this issue. I just love. I mean, this is peak Bolland right here with the rendering and the art. And like I said, great figure work. Lighting from the upper left, you can tell because where the cast shadow hits. Shadow coming down on her thigh. Even this cat right here, you got the shadow cast on his body. The detail on this car in the last panel, which is Metamorpho. I've only seen a couple of Bolland pieces in the wild. Yeah, exactly. And they're usually on the back wall. Look at this. I mean, just the work on the black leather seatbelt going across. It's just gorgeous. Gorgeous. Let's go back. I wonder if the same guy owns this whole story. I know that wasn't for sale. Yes, Roland Lim owns this complete story. So I'm very jealous of Mr. Lim because he owns this complete Brian Bolland short story from Outsiders, it looks like. I'm going to bounce me out of here so we can see this full screen. Nobody needs to see my ugly face on the left-hand side. Look at this brushwork, guys. This is all brush. Great character acting right here. Beautiful brushwork. Light's coming from the upper left-hand corner. He does his rendering in that direction as well. Click to full size. Let's see how much bigger it gets. Holy but Jesus. Look at that. Wow. Would you look at that? So nice. Love the expression on that face. The delicate work on that hair. Now I need to check out where was she? I gotta look at this page again, but do this. Bazanga. Holy crap, holies, look at that. If you're wondering why the lettering is yellow, it's because it was pasted down onto the artwork here. That's on the original because it's not yellow. Look at her. She's like, I'm pissed off right now. She's a looker. Wow. Checking out Boland's 2000 AD number 4 with Hitler. Look further, Andy. Oh, I will. The old style of drawing is just great. It is. There was another one I saw up here. I want Metamorpho looked like Shane Davis. Yeah. Did Shane draw some Metamorpho stuff? I'm not sure. Let's see. Just scrolling down, I'm going to click to some other. I know there's a lot more art. 39 dealer results. Let me go to the next page. Then we'll look at the dealer results to see how much stuff is selling for and what it is. I mean, look at this. Beautiful, Amazing Heroes cover. Oh, it gets bigger. Oh, damn. Look at that brushwork on Judge Dredd's costume right there. That is awesome. That is what I call OCD-ness, because not OCD, but definitely he does not have ADHD, because if you had attention deficit hyperactive disorder like I do, this brushwork would be very tough to get through. For me, at least. Just saying. Man, that is great. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Beautiful. Oh, gets bigger too. It's not that great of a scan, but you can see this is rough pencils. Those are rough pencils. That's right. I said rough pencils. That's crazy. The Dredd is jaw-dropping. It is. Oh, this Terry Austin inks. Oh, look at this. Terry Austin just slapping it down like a boss over Brian Bolland. Terry Austin's like, yeah, Brian Bolland inks with a brush. I ink with a pen. Let me show you what I can do. Look at that. This makes me want to read this book again. Oh, man. Good stuff. Good stuff right there. Terry Austin showing how it's done. AJ Tom says, Bolland is the sole reason I became a Dredd fan. The best Dredd artists are inspired by Bolland. It's true. It'd be fun to see Ethan do a Judge Dredd piece, since he's inspired by Mr. Bolland. All right, let's just click on this. I got to do it. Oh, look at that luscious brushwork. Oh, this is inked by Gary Martin. Wow, Gary Martin really bringing it. I thought it was inked by Brian, but it's inked by Gary Martin. Look at that gorgeous fade. Look at that. Man, Gary Martin just showing you how it's done as well. Good googly moogly. Oh, man, I got to look at this Judge Dredd. I've never seen this splash before. Oh, it doesn't get any bigger. Oh, man. Just beautiful. Hold on here. I got to see this. All right, let me see something else. Let's look at the dealer results, see what's for sale. Batman has moves. You shut your mouth. He does not. He does not. How dare you? Let's see. Look at this. Judge Dredd sketch. This is just a sketch, a con sketch from 2009, and it'll set you back just $1,750. So, and it's 8x10. So if you're wondering what a piece of Brian Bolland original art goes for, that gives you a pretty good idea. Oh, look at that. Oh, hold on. These are just layouts. Look at this. This is his layout. Oh, it gets bigger. This is his layout for a pinup, and it's $1,200. Just the layout. Wow. Wow. Crazy. $1,250 for that layout. Let's see what else we got. Let's go to another page. Oh, here we go, guys. So yeah, so I'd like to own a Green Lantern cover. Well, a Animal Man cover is 15,000. I feel like Bolland likes drawing Dread more. I don't know. That's a good question. Look at this. 15,000, and this can be yours. Man knows how to draw a chicken, or is that a rooster? I don't know. But look at that dinosaur. I mean, come on. Look at this. Yeah, oh, he's in hay, so I guess I'll draw every straw of hay. You know, but this is, oh, gorgeous. Gorgeous. I know Ethan got to sit next to Bolland at a convention. Lucky dog. Camelot 3000 page. Here we go. 1450. And I'm not saying $14.50. So $1,450. This page could be yours. Oof, that's gorgeous. Oh, I just want to go in the house and cry now. 1,700 for a sketch, 15 for a cover. To put it in Brian's vernacular, bloody hell. Yeah, I just want to go cry. I opened this up on eBay because I want to see this full page. This is a page from a story that was drawn by the great George Tuska, inked by Terry Austin with Nitro. And I tell you, if I had the money, $594. I'll add it to my watch list just so I can see how much it sells for, because that's a little out of my league. That is out of my ballpark for sure. But I'll add it. Okay, let's get back to Bolland. Oh no. Oh, whew. Thought I closed the wrong thing. Oh my God. I remember this cover as a kid. 1980, when he was 30 years old, or 29 years old, actually. I think YouTube is having issues with the StreamYard. It's still looking good on my end as I look at my phone. So I'll have to look up again and see what the deal is. Here's a Green Lantern page by Mr. GIbbons. Oh, I just saw another page, one of my favorites. I'll have to show you guys. This is inked by Dave, I believe. Love Dave's artwork. But look at this splash page. Back to normal now, it says. Okay, cool. I don't know what happened. I was skipping. I don't skip, I hop. Check this out. Dave GIbbons did it all. Beautiful. I love the face he does. Ooh, it gets bigger. Ooh, it gets a lot bigger. That's what she said. I love that face. Hands. Love the juicy inks. Definitely where I got my my inking style was definitely influenced by these guys. Let's see what's for sale. 246 dealer results. Who knows, guys? Maybe I'll find something I can afford and I'll buy a Dave GIbbons page. Right. That I somehow doubt is going to happen. But you never know. Dave Gibbons, another guy who I would love to draw 1stMAN, but will not happen, unfortunately. Not seeing a lot of great stuff here for sale. Oh my God, a Watchmen page. Oh, says it's sold. A lot of color guides. It looks like. I mean, color guides are cool. So if you're wondering, this is a color proof color guide. Show you guys what coloring looked like back then. So that is a color guide from Watchmen you could own, right? So there you go. All right, let me do this. So guys, before I run out of here, I want to remind you about Andy Smith's 1stMAN 2 learning curve. I threw my name in there, so if somebody searches my name on Indiegogo, the campaign comes up. Maybe I will try to draw 1stMAN. Do it and show it to me. Guys, if you haven't backed 1stMAN, please get on the 1stMAN bus. It'll take you on a wild trip, wild journey. With your help, I can bring this to life. You can get the fabulous 1stMAN bundle, which includes everything from the first campaign and the second campaign. Volume 1 by itself with my cover, the Bart Sears cover. You can get both books. You can get Volume 2, my cover and Bart's cover. You can get Volume 1, Volume 2, and the program book. Of course, the head sketch tier, the full figure tier, and, well, becoming a character in the book, I'm sorry to say, is not an option anymore. That is sold. But jump on 1stMAN. Let's get it. AJ asks, are you on anyone else's stream later today? Not as of now. I'm doing a Dennis and Andy show at 6 o'clock, streaming with my buddy Dennis for our show, which will be, hold on, I just want to do something here. There we go. I will be doing Dennis and Andy at 6 o'clock tonight, where we're going to be interviewing my buddy Daryl Banks of Green Lantern fame. And then I believe Ethan is doing a Comic Kings CG stream at 7 o'clock tonight, which I will be on as well. So we'll be doing that. Guys, please back 1stMAN. Please share 1stMAN with your help. That is how crowdfunding works. We need the crowd, and the crowd only happens with your guys' help and me pimping it out too. Val asks, I can get the mouse over here. Val asks, who's going to be in the comics? Someone from the streams. I don't know who backed that level. Actually, I should look at my backer list and see. So I don't know yet. I haven't looked. Guys, please remember, back the campaign. This is what everybody thinks of the campaign so far. Oh, that is so nice of you guys. Remember, I'm the one that likes to bring it back this way, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Same bat time, same 1stMAN time, same 1stMAN channel. You 1stManiacs rock.